And welcome to the September 15, 2025 regular session of the Craven County Board of Commissioners. Madam Clerk, would you call the meeting to order?
Commissioner Mitchell?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Commissioner Howard?
Yes.
Commissioner Hunt?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Jones?
Here.
Chairman Booker?
Here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would rise, we're going to hear the prayer by the County Attorney Grady, and then we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Merciful God, we give you thanks for giving us another day. Bless this place and surround us with your spirit. May your divine blessings shield and protect us from all attack, destruction, storm, sickness, and all that might bring evil to your people or shake the soul of this nation and county. Guide and protect these county commissioners and all county employees. May the comings and goings of your people be under the seal of your loving care, and may all that is done be for your greater honor and glory. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioners, you have in front of you the agenda for today's meeting. Are there any changes, additions, deletions?
Move that we approve the agenda as written.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Mitchell?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Commissioner Howard?
Yes.
Commissioner Hunt?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Jones?
Yes.
Chairman Booker?
Yes. The next item on the agenda says Chairman's Privilege. So I'd like to take a moment to remember Tom Mark, who sat here for many years, passed away actually the day after our last meeting, or shortly after our last meeting, 2 weeks ago. First thing I'd like to do is have a moment of silence. I would like to just mention that I've served with Tom for the last 7 years. He sat here for 15 years, elected first in 2010. He served as chairman. He served as vice chairman. Vice Chairman Jones described him as a fighter, and I would second that. He was passionate about his responsibility as a commissioner. He worked hard for the constituents in his district. When you describe him as a fighter, the public didn't know, and we didn't really know what he was going through the last, I would say, 2 to 3 years with some serious illnesses. Yet he showed up whenever possible. He was under a lot of pressure because of that, and yet he soldiered on. So, Tom, you're going to be missed. The funeral is set for September 26th at 11 o'clock at the Convention Center. It's described as a memorial service. So, any other commissioners want to make a comment? Now would be a perfect time to do that.
I'll just say this out of respect for him. I'm going to have the opportunity to speak at the memorial service, so I'll hold most of my comments for that. But if you wanted to know Tom's opinion, and I say this out of respect for him, all you had to do is ask him, and he'd give it to you with a little bit of bark behind it. He was strong, opinionated, and we were vastly different, and I'll speak about that too, but he was a friend. And champion for many things that I would have not thought he would have championed. And I enjoyed working with him.
Likewise. Anyone else? Okay, next item on the agenda is number 1 is the Hope Mission of Coastal Carolina, John Sauerkeys.
Perfect.
I'm sure it wasn't perfect, but that's as good as I can do.
Thank
Welcome.
you, ladies and gentlemen. We
Welcome.
Thank you. We appreciate this opportunity to update everyone on what Hope Mission's doing. I'd like to express our condolences on the recent passing of Commissioner Mark. We send our thoughts and prayers, and we know that his service to the county and the community is appreciated and will be remembered. Hope Mission's had a lot of growth. If you've been able to see the PowerPoint, I will not go into great length about that. But there has been a lot of significant growth. The organization as a whole has had a lot of transformation. So we've done a merger. Each entity that we originally had was a separate 501c3. So we brought all the organizations together, the thrift store, Pier, the soup kitchen and shelter, and the recovery home, and moved it all under one nonprofit. And we can actually start on the slide deck at slide 6, please. So a lot of what we do is we provide wraparound services, and it's to Craven, Carteret clients primarily, but we've expanded our footprint into 6 counties that we're in weekly and 15 counties bi-weekly now. So for example, our Meals on Wheels and food services that we've been able to provide as of August of this year, 38,308 meals through our community kitchen, which breaks down a majority of them being Meals on Wheels to 95 clients. And they get hot meals every day. Through that, we've been able to distribute over $19,000 in emergency financial assistance to 72 individuals. Our thrift store supported 111 families with free clothing, household items, and furniture. Our shelter services has delivered over 1,300 nights of transitional shelter. And our volunteer impact, which we've really expanded on over the last 18 to 24 months, has grown, where we've engaged over 1,100 volunteers, and they've given over 17,000 service hours across the various departments of Hope Mission. We've organized key fundraising events, things like empty bowls and our annual golf tournament. Next slide, please. So our recovery services program expands now to 6 counties: Craven, Carteret, Pamlico, Jones, Onslow, and Beaufort. And through that, we've moved up north, and we're in additional counties up north, providing recovery, reentry, and open referral resources. So if someone needs a bed, they can come to Hope Mission if it's recovery or it's reentry. We've got separate programming that addresses those needs of those individuals. This year we implemented clinical services. We brought on a clinical team of licensed addiction specialists and social workers and mental health counselors. We've also started veteran programming within our organization, so we're able to work with homeless vets. Near and dear to my heart, as I'm a retired Marine, and I know the challenges that exist in working with that population. Our anti-stigma campaign, which we started last year, Peers on the Beach. We put peer support specialists, who are those who have lived in long-term recovery and have been through a certification process through the state in mental health, substance use, certified older adults, and veterans. That programming through the state, we've been able to put 17 peers out on the beach, bring in 12 additional organizations, and we've made contact now with over 2,000 individuals, with over 100 of them receiving some sort of referral service. And it's not necessarily us they can come to. There are other organizations that they can utilize through this programming. We do a recovery on the road, which covers 10 counties right now. Our immediate footprint, which is Carteret, Craven, Pamlico, Jones, Beaufort, and Onslow, and up north now, Martin, Currituck, and counties up there. So we're up there bi-weekly. We also have our first annual symposium, which is a one-day conference this Friday. And that'll be at the community college from 9 to 3, where we're bringing the director, Kelly Crosby from DHHS down, along with other speakers. We have a mayor's panel, a sheriff's panel, which Sheriff Hughes will be on as well, that addresses the problem with substance use in rural counties. Next slide, please. So our clinical services, which we've been working on the last couple years and officially gone into effect this year, offers outpatient, so anyone can come in with a referral and can get services through us, psychotherapy and substance use treatment. What we did was we took our main office building and we're in the process of getting it licensed through the state. So while we're doing that, it should be towards the end of the month we receive our licensing. And through that, we'll be able to offer SAIOP, which is Substance Abuse Intensive Outpatient, as well as SACOT, Substance Abuse Comprehensive Outpatient Treatment. Those will be available to anyone that needs it, in addition to our residential treatment as well. We also offer psychotherapy. Our Director of Clinical Services, Christine, she works a lot originally in the veteran community, so she's been helping us stand up our veteran mental health programming. So we're able to offer accessible services to all, and it's all free of charge. Next slide, please. This is currently our footprint of where we've been moving into, identifying rural counties that were resource deserts, that didn't have anything. So by putting peer support specialists and licensed clinicians out in these communities, we're able to offer an opportunity for someone that doesn't have hope to be able to receive some sort of service or get referral to another programming. Next slide, please. So we're focusing on, over the last couple of years, we've been focusing on restructuring our curriculum, implementing our clinical department, our mental health, substance use, and veteran programming, utilization of peer support and certified licensed clinicians, where we're also offering a more intensive case management programming and transitional housing. And that is offered to an individual for 12 months where they can stay with us free of charge. And then after that, we've structured our transitional housing to be that similar to an Oxford house. Could you please go to slide 13? A couple more. Again. There we go. So this is what we've been working on this year, is expanding our peer support services by putting them out in rural counties. Our respite services, which we just procured a respite house in Swansboro, and we're working on procuring one in New Bern. So we should be able to close on that in October. And what the respite houses are, there'll be two distinct houses, one for men and one for women. What that will be is anyone that works in the mental health or substance use community, they'll be able to come to our respite houses free of charge, and they can stay for a week. So similar to like an Airbnb, but with no cost. So anyone that's getting burnout or experiencing burnout, they can come and spend a week at our respite houses free of charge. They're fully furnished, and they'll be able to experience the community, get some downtime and recharge before they head back.
These would be caregivers.
They would be licensed mental health counselors, peer support, anyone that works in the mental health or substance use community. So there'll be a house here in New Bern and then one in Swansboro. We offer the outpatient mental health services, which includes mental health, substance use. We're moving into telehealth and virtual communication services. We started that about 3 months ago. We have supported employment services. We work heavily with the NC Works Workforce Board and the reentry councils, both here and in Carteret, Onslow County. Our comprehensive case management system and our community support team. which our CST team should be coming online in January of 2026, which that will put a specific team, peer support specialists, licensed clinicians, and a nurse or a doctor, which we're still working through, out in the community to work with individuals. And then if you would please move to slide 17, save the date. So this is our Peers on the Beach anti-stigma campaign on the left, and we do that from June to September on beaches. Last year we were on one beach, this year we're on two, and every year we'll be adding another beach. So we're advocating for new mental health providers, substance use providers, peer support organizations to come and partner with us. It's just an opportunity to be out in the community offering resources and trying to break the stigma of mental health and substance use. And then on the right is our 2025 Fall Symposium flyer, which discusses the focus on substance use crises that we're experiencing in rural counties. Next slide, please. So our goals for the following year is to become a statewide provider. We're working heavily with Trillium and Medicaid and Medicare, and we're utilizing those systems to enhance our Meals on Wheels programming, our case management for those that are homebound, and as well as working with new LMEs across the state to incorporate new programming for substance use and mental health. We're working to prevent the substance use misuse and overdose. A lot of the issues that we're seeing right now with overdose is overconfidence with some of the harm reduction programs that are out there, and people having more overdoses because of a lack of confidence with the programming that's out there. So we're working alongside port teams and different things like that to get out into the community and provide a more rapid response. We're working on building our workforce in Eastern North Carolina with the workforce boards, NC Works, organizations like that, strengthening our crisis system. We're working a lot in the justice system now. We're working with the Department of Adult Corrections. We see that 50% of individuals that move into long-term incarceration or 80% are now leaving with substance use issues. So there is a lot more opportunity for the utilization of substances in long-term incarceration. So we're working with multiple prisons right now where we put peer support specialists into these prisons 6 months before release, the day of release, and 12 months after. So we're working with just recently, we brought 2 individuals in through the Department of Adult Corrections, one of them being a veteran. We were able to work with the Navy Board of Corrections to get his package. He had a bad conduct discharge. We worked with him and our local VSO to get an upgrade to his package so he could receive veteran benefits. And a lot of that doesn't happen when someone leaves the prison system. They're on their own. So us filling in the gap with some of our veteran peers are able to work with those who are coming out of long-term incarceration for things like that. And then amplifying our recovery and community-based services. The next slide, please. We were able to be the benefactor of a $5 million grant through DHHS and Trillium, and we'll be building a facility starting in December. Our Bridges Street location, where our soup kitchen is, will be coming down, and we'll be moving our soup kitchen to 2 different locations in the future. But this will be the new 40-bed facility that we will start building in December. And next slide, please. Along with that, on the back will be our peer living room, which will be a resource center that anyone can access free of charge. And on the second floor of that will be our clinical department, where we're bringing all of our clinical staff into one location. People will have free access to mental health and substance use care at any point in time. One more slide, please. And this is what the building will look like. We have an 18-month window for construction, so starting December, we'll do demo. In January, we'll start the construction of this new facility, which opens up 6 additional homes for homeless veterans, mental health and substance use, and reentry coming out of prisons. Do I have any questions?
Anyone have questions, comments?
That's a lot to do in 18 months.
Well, I'm the right person for the job, so we'll get it done.
Outstanding.
I just have one question / comment, and that is, your expansion plans are pretty aggressive.
Yes, sir.
The risk there is, when you do an aggressive, that's positive. But the negative is you can spread yourself thin, you can have issues that maybe you didn't anticipate. And I'm not telling you how to do your job, police, but caution when it comes to expansion, that you don't get too aggressive too fast, that you lose control of what you got.
Yes, sir. And thank you for mentioning that, because over the last year that we've been pursuing the expansion plan, we've been looking at our infrastructure. So we've brought on new piers. One of the things that we've been doing specifically with DSS in Carteret County, Jones County, and Pamlico County is subcontracting piers to put into those counties. So when we started that about a year ago, we had identified the gaps that were be created. So we started bringing in new peer support specialists. We started hiring externally for the clinical department, for qualified professionals, for mental health and substance use professionals, as well as drivers, house managers, and things like that. And recognizing that there would be a gap as we move, we have a strong staff right now where we're focusing on building our infrastructure and putting the right people in the right places. And that's why we started hiring externally to bring in individuals. Right now, we're about 80% of our staff are individuals who have come through our program. The remainder are ones that we're hiring externally.
Okay.
And yes, sir.
No, I was gonna say, thank you. Any other comments, questions? Ms.
Yes,
Smith?
ma'am.
You said you're aggressively moving to other counties. Are you reaching out to additional people within the counties that you're working with? The Craven, the Carteret, those people, are you expanding within the counties?
For hiring,
No, for your clients. Are you making sure that you're covering all the people who are in need that are within the
Yes,
counties you're
ma'am.
working in there?
and that's where we've been putting like efforts like Recovery on the Road. We've been putting peer support specialists out into the community more and partnering with local entities within Craven County, Carteret County, to making sure that our partnerships are stronger and that we're reinforcing the efforts within the county where we currently have footprints. Roots are extremely important to me. My wife and I have lived here since '99. We've raised 7 kids here. Retired, out of Pendleton, but came back here. Mm-hmm. So roots are extremely important to me, and building those are the goal going forward as we expand.
Any others?
Yes, ma'am.
2 questions. One, you said peer support specialists have long-term sobriety. Can you define long-term sobriety?
Yes, ma'am. So we are looking at 3 years or more. So the state has actually changed their requirements for peer support specialists from 12 months to 18 months, which was a really good move for them. While we're focusing on our 3 years or more when we bring people on.
Yes. I've been in recovery 27 years, so that's why I'm asking the question.
Yes, ma'am.
And 3 years is good. The other one is, you said 80% of your staff are hired from the program that they had been through with you.
Yes.
Do you view this as a first job getting back into a functional world, or is this a new career path for these people? Does that make sense? Is it transitional or permanent?
So we hope it's permanent. I know personally I would not want to be a peer support specialist for 20 years because of the rate of burnout. Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
So what we do is we create a progression track for them if they want to stay with us. So we have 2 individuals right now who are pursuing masters to become licensed clinical social workers or licensed clinical addiction specialists. And we're really advocating that 5 to 6 years is a good window for them to be a peer support specialist and then move into something else. So we're constantly advocating that they grow in their profession. And they may not want to stay with us, and I'm okay with that, but I want to make sure that they have a solid groundwork if they decide they want to move into the college and be an adjunct instructor or whatever the case may
They're
be.
back into the workforce, they're relearning work skills, how,
Absolutely, yes.
either way is a win.
Absolutely, yes. As long as they don't return back to crisis, mental health, substance use, then that's what we want to do, is give them the tools that they need and a safe environment to build that foundation in recovery so that when they do step out, if it's with us or not with us, that one, they know they have a place they can call, and two, they know they can step out on their own and have that confidence in themselves again.
Well, I really like your model. Thank you for everything you and Hope Mission are doing in Eastern
Thank you.
North Carolina.
We appreciate what you do for our community, and we want you to keep it up.
Thank you. I actually just remembered one thing, and I apologize. I'll try and make it quick.
That's okay.
Amanda McKenna came through our program a little over 3 years ago, and she's done phenomenal. She came from Craven County Jail, and she's been an amazing example of how our partnership with Craven County in the program works. Recently, she's been dual enrolled to get her associates and bachelors. She received her associates. December 12th, she gets to walk and receive her her bachelor's degree, December 12th. She recently had her sentencing in June, and she has to report to Department of Adult Corrections December 16th. She is currently our women's program director. She's been married. She got her child back. She's doing phenomenal. She's a benefactor of what the governor's program did for opioid settlement. And last week we were up at the REI symposium and got a chance to break away and go to the State Reentry Council meeting. So I brought Amanda up with me, and I brought her husband, Matt. And we brought a clemency package with us. And during public comment, we stepped up and went in front of Anna Stein and gave her the clemency package. And being able to advocate and give Amanda her own voice in front of the governor's wife got us a meeting on the 25th with him and his legal team at 1 p.m. So we're going to discuss clemency with him and his team on the 1st and advocate that the partnership that Craven County and Hope Mission has had will greatly benefit individuals, hundreds of women in the future, if Amanda's allowed to stay with us. So I just wanted to say thank you for that opportunity, because Amanda is a star. She's a rock star. She's going to change. She's going to change the landscape of Craven County. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Item number 2, Commissioners, is the consent agenda. The minutes from the September 2nd session, regular session, tax releases and refunds, requests for addition to a state-maintained secondary road system, King Creek subdivision, Health Department updated fees request, downtown New Bern Air Show lease, and 2025 Mumfest lease. Are there any changes, additions, deletions to the consent agenda? Hearing none.
Move we accept the consent
Second.
agenda.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Mitchell,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Howard,
Yes.
Commissioner Hunt,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Jones,
Yes.
Chairman Bucher.
Yes. Okay, now item number 3 under departmental matters. Airport Federal Aviation Administration FAA grant funding approval, and it is not Andy Shorter. Andrew is not able to be here today, so stepping in for him is Ray Dunn. Good morning, Ray.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honorable members of the County Board of Commissioners. Appreciate you having us and hearing us. We'll be brief in our presentation this morning. I know you're busy. This is for our 2025 fiscal year airport improvement grant from the Federal Aviation Administration. It is in the amount of $867,508. We normally have about $1.3 million. That can certainly vary year by year. We are able to roll over the remaining $400,000 and change into the fiscal year 2026. This specific grant is for the runway safety area at the end of runway 22. This is just a broad diagram of the runways at the airport. Runway 22 is the runway closest to Williams Road and proposed Interstate 42. You go to the next slide, I think we can see in more detail. The trapezoid on this diagram first is our runway protection zone. Within that runway protection zone is a smaller trapezoid, and that is the runway safety area. It is at the end of the extensions of runway 22. So we're having an extension of runway 22. This grant is not for the extension of runway 22. It is for the runway protection zone that is at the end of runway 22. And you'll see there's also on that diagram the extension of a taxiway, and the triangular or the yellow and red is the blast pad at the end of the runway extension, the blast pad for jets taking off, also for safety in the event you needed an extension for landing for any reason. The bottom slide is probably certainly more difficult for me to see, but the area in tan is the runway protection zone, and so this grant is for design and permitting within that runway protection zone. The grant itself, we've got one last slide, but I don't believe it would be relevant for your consideration today. The grant itself has not been signed by FAA. We are assured that it'll be delivered today or tomorrow, and they gave us until like September the 18th to get it back to them. So we're in hopes the grant will arrive. Mr. Grady and I have dealt with this fire drill before. The moment it comes in, I'll scoot it over to Mr. Grady. We will need if approved, we will need the chair to sign the grant when it comes through. We will do our best to make this as expeditious as possible. We have here today, if you have any difficult questions, I'd ask that you please ask Mr. Pope. He is the chair of the Airport Authority and also happens to be an engineer, and he can actually read these slides before you. So are there any questions?
Any questions for either Ray Dunn or Bill Pope?
Please save the hard ones for Mr. Pope.
I second.
We got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for your time.
Nobody opposed. Thank you very
Thank you for your
much.
time.
Mr. Chairman, if I may just make a comment.
Yes.
I have the opportunity to serve with Bill. He's an exceptional chairman to our board. He invests a lot of time to our airport. And Ray Dunn, we can't say enough good about him. He's been around a long time. He knows everything there is to know about our airport, and we appreciate your leadership too. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner
Yeah, we
Jones.
appreciate both of you and what you do, Bill. I know you don't get paid a lot for this. Like nothing. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Honor to serve.
Okay, thank you very
Thank
much.
you for your help.
Appreciate it. Okay, next under planning, Chad Strawn, Planning Director, and he's got a couple folks with him today.
Yes,
Chad?
sir. Good morning. Good morning. Before we get into the update of our Central Single Family Rehab Program, I'd like to introduce two folks that work with Insight Consulting Group. First, we have with us Chris Hilbert. He's a graduate of East Carolina University, has been working with local governments in Eastern North Carolina on community development projects ranging from flood mitigation to urgent home repair and reconstruction for 29 years. I pick on him, I say, you don't look 29 years old. So. And we got Kate Fursinger. She's a graduate of Appalachian State University and the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. Kate has over 5 years of municipal community development experience. She started her career 5 years ago with Central Carolina Council of Governments in Charlotte. Kate recently relocated back to her hometown of Wilmington and began working as a project manager for Insight. Chris and Kate are both mission-driven community development professionals dedicated to helping counties and municipalities strengthen resilience, expand housing opportunities, and successfully manage their grant programs. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to Chris and Kate so they'll provide us an update of our essential single-family rehab program.
Thank you, Chad.
Welcome.
Again, I appreciate the introduction, Chad. Many of you might have known my former colleague, Chip Bartlett, who worked with the county for a long time, and he and I kind of worked together, and he always worked in Craven County. So what we're trying to kind of do, since he is now working with the Council of Governments, we're trying to transition, and we feel like we've found a perfect person to help with that for Craven County. I'm kind of standing in as a mentor for Kate, and so wanted to introduce that, but also kind of give you an update for where things stood with the North Carolina Housing Finance Agency program. We recently had a bid opening where we had 5 contractors bid on houses that were previously selected by the planning department for rehabilitation, and they're scattered around the county. We're trying to do some additional houses because North Carolina Housing Finance Agency does allow for additional homes to be added to the program as we move into the first group. So we have identified those houses and we're working on the work write-ups right now. We will be bidding those out in October, but wanted to let you know that we're kind of at that point where we're going to start seeing some hammers out on site. We have to complete the loan closings, which is handled by the state now with North Carolina Housing Finance Agency. So we are dependent upon them to send us the loan closing packages, and then we'll handle getting that done and doing the pre-construction conferences with the homeowner and the contractor. There was a few applicants that were ineligible. Some were ineligible because the severity of the home was too bad. This is a rehab program, and we can't rehab every home. As trying to kind of fit everybody into the right program, which I know Craven County has done a lot of programs over the years. So we have some of those applicants that we're currently looking at for the CDBG application, because CDBG can do reconstruction of homes, not just rehab. So we're evaluating that right now, and I believe that's going to be on your next agenda, is for the second public hearing for a CDBG application, as well as closing out an existing CDBG project. So, is there any questions for me or for Kate?
Forgive my ignorance. How does a homeowner come to your attention of being a potential applicant for this service, and how is this person and this home selected?
So the planning department takes names all the time, right? So pretty much whenever they're open, they'll take somebody's name for this and they'll put them on a list. They've been doing that ever since, like for 30 years since I've been around. The Craven County's always had a request for assistance list. So we then, once the county brings us into the fold, we will review those applications. A lot of times we're looking at, we'll just pull tax cards to start with to verify ownership. because most of these programs are owner-occupied programs. So, and we have to, get income, verify income from the folks, and then we'll get out to the house at some point if they've qualified at that point. We also verify that people are paying their taxes. If they haven't paid their taxes, they could be ineligible for the program from a local standpoint. So, does that answer
Yes,
your
that
question?
answers the question.
Okay.
So initially it starts at the county level with request for assistance and then moves up through the system. And then if I understand you correct, you figure out, is this a rehab? Is it a reconstruct?
Right.
Where do they fit within the various programs?
Yeah, we have myself and we have a colleague of mine, Gary Miller, who lives in Beaufort County. That he does a lot of the evaluations for us, and he's been working with me for 25 years. So, and he's also worked with the county on their elevation grants and helped out over the years. So.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'd like to move to accept the additional funding and approve the budget amendment.
Second.
I like,
We're not voting on this, we're voting,
Just an update.
this was just an update.
Yeah, there's
We're
a
gonna,
second.
next, we're gonna get to the
That's right.
opportunity to vote, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you, Chris, Kate, for coming and kind of clarifying how this works. And so, if there's anybody in the audience, not necessarily this audience, but the virtual audience, the TV audience, who thinks they may have an opportunity or may need an opportunity, they can contact the planning department and they would check it out.
Correct.
Yes.
I have a comment, if
Yes.
I may,
Sure.
Mr. Chairman. I'd like to say, many of these properties are in my district, and it's Chad Armstrong and his group, and you have done a marvelous job of working with people to make repairs that need to be made that they cannot afford to do, from ramps to what, right on to larger projects, and I do appreciate that.
Thank you.
I have something too. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this program, these 5 homes that were identified, didn't they also have a stipulation in there that they be senior citizens and/or persons with disabilities?
Right, it's an income-based program, but we also look at special populations, which is elderly status or disability. I believe NCHFA also has a veterans angle to them as well. So, and then, anything on CDBG side is kind of the same thing. We're tracking those and measuring those, and reporting all that back to the funding agencies. This is coming out of North Carolina Housing Finance Agency. It's home funds, which is different than CDBG. So there's 2 different funding sources out of the housing and urban development.
There's no guarantee that the client will qualify, but Chad's group is quick to respond when you ask for help in this area. And I'd like to mention that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, item B.
All right. So to follow up on that update, since we have done really good with the help of the consultants, the North Carolina Housing Finance Agency has agreed to award us funding for 3 additional homes. The county originally received funding for 3 homes back in October of #23, resulting, that's $162,000. We're going to receive an additional $162,000 to complete 6 structures, with more in the queue that we will be submitting to the state. That I'll bring a budget amendment back to you in the future. But today's ask is, at this time, we request the Board of Commissioners to formally accept this additional funding, approve the budget amendment and project ordinance in the amount of $162,000.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Before we vote, I would just make a comment. It looks like these are spread all over the county. A couple in Havelock, 1 out on Spring Garden, and 4 have a New Bern address. So
That's right.
that's good.
Yep.
It's not all in one concentrated area. So, Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Mitchell?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Commissioner Howard?
Yes.
Commissioner Hunt?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Jones?
Yes.
Chairman Booker?
Yes. Motion passes.
Thank you, sir.
Item C.
All right, so this is a little different subject, but this is the Emergency Service Consulting Contract Renewal. Craven County has historically maintained a pre-positioned contract for emergency services consulting through the Solid Waste Department. This contract allows us to maintain compliance with state and federal regulations in order to ensure eligibility for reimbursement of public assistance funds in the time of disaster. So this is like debris monitoring, our project that we had out on the riverfront with our living shoreline. That's just a couple of examples. The selected contractor, Insight Consulting Group, has provided essential supporting consulting support not only for the solid waste initiatives, but also public assistance and resiliency efforts in collaboration with the Craven County Planning Department. The consulting contractors contribute to this effective and meaningful benefits across both departments. Craven County awarded Insight Consulting Group the contract in September of 2023, with the agreement set to be renewed each year. County staff are now asking the Board of Commissioners to approve the renewal so the consulting services can continue into the 25-26 budget year.
Okay, we're asked to approve the renewal with Insight Consulting Group and authorize the county manager to execute all the necessary documents related to the renewal. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Mitchell?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Commissioner Howard?
Yes.
Commissioner Hunt?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Jones?
Yes.
Chairman Booker?
Yes, and that takes care of all your items.
That's it.
Okay, you're all done. Thank you. Appreciate it. Item number 5 is appointments. There's only one appointment, but we have 6 future appointments that are pending. The Aging Planning Board, the Clean Sweep Committee, the Highway 70 Corridor Committee, the County Planning Board, the Juvenile Crime Prevention Council, and the Volunteer Agricultural District 1 and 6. So need to be looking at those at a future meeting. Today under current, we have the Juvenile Crime Prevention Council. Gary Baldry Jr. seeks appointment. Someone want to nominate him?
I'll nominate him.
Okay, we have a nomination of Mr. Baldry. Do we have any other nominations? Hearing none, we will approve him by acclamation. Coming up, Clean Sweep Committee, Cindy Teasdale, and Recreation Advisory Council, Eddie Gaines and Ben Schreckenghost. Does that sound about right? Wow. I'm sure he gets that mispronounced a lot. Okay. Next item, number 6, is the county attorney's report.
No report, Mr. Chairman.
Item number 7 is the county manager's report.
Good picture, Tom.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. I'm going to save that picture for last. I'm just leave it up there for a minute. Over the last couple weeks, I was able to attend last week the Kerswama meeting out at the landfill here in Craven County. Lots of good stuff going on out there. Obviously, we've moved past the budget. We'll continue to focus on capital plans for the new landfill sale. Vice Chairman Jones and I both are intently watching how that's going to affect future rates for solid waste disposal at the landfill and in our convenience sites. Transfer stations. Other than that, they're continuing to work on their methane gas to energy program. There's been a little hiatus in that due to the source and some water issues. It appeared, Vice Chairman Jones, all that was working itself out, and they've got a path forward. There is some construction that'll have to happen, but should be in the near future. A couple reminders for commissioners. This Wednesday, September 17th at 5 p.m. at Carolina Colors Pavilion will be the annual C1A meeting. This will be the opportunity to hear from speakers who have worked with either the C1A or the Craven County Economic Development Department over the last year. There's some really interesting speakers. I think what Jeff did this year is he's got the CEO of a couple companies that chose Craven County for either expansion or a new location. So to hear why they chose here, what their business is doing, and how we're growing here in Craven County. Always a great event. Would encourage you to attend if your schedule allows. On September 29th at 10 a.m. at the Craven County Senior Center at 411 George Street, we will have a ribbon cutting. We are now complete and it is back open and the seniors are very much enjoying it. On Friday, Commissioner Smith and I rode by and saw lots of activity getting it ready for September 29th. We will have a plaque unveiling and a ribbon cutting that morning, so look forward to you being there as well. That was my comments. I know the chairman started out with a moment of silence, but I put this picture up. Gene actually found this last week, and I thought it was who Tom was. Vice Chairman Jones and I have talked about Tom a whole lot over the years because they share a lot of commonality with the types of districts that they have, the rural nature of it, the things that they need, agriculture. And back in the early 2010s, maybe Vice Chairman Jones may have been the only commissioner here, we started a program called Creek Snagging. Chad and his team, Jason walked out, but they were instrumental with our soil and water conservation program to clear out debris in streams and creeks and drainage canals so that the flooding wouldn't be as bad if we had a hurricane or a large rain event. Tom was a champion of this program, and this picture talks a lot about it. Tom was probably 83 years old, and he got in that kayak that day because he wanted to see what Little Swift Creek looked like after we finished, because he knew the impact that would have on his district. And I guess the proof was in the pudding, and I can remember back in 2018, pretty much 7 years ago yesterday, but it was a few days after, Tom and I were talking about potential riverine flooding in the Vanceboro and western part of the county after Hurricane Florence. And when it was all said and done and the flooding wasn't that bad, Tom said to me, I think it's a lot about the faith the commissioners put in this program. And I know it meant a lot to him to have your support to do that. And Jason was here, he would have told you the week before they were out, the largest water moccasin in the history of water moccasins was on a tree limb about 3 foot from Jason. So he was a little wary of going back out, but Commissioner Mark got there. And as you can tell, this is a rugged adventure. If you don't know if you can see the boat there, this isn't a yacht. This is a little old boat going up a creek in western Craven County. So Tom meant a lot to the staff. He meant a lot to all of us. We're going to have a little bit more at the next meeting. We're going to have a video montage and things, and hopefully get Tom's wife here and talk with her. But he meant a lot to us. He was a presence. I told someone last week the thing I liked most about Tom was he never sugarcoated anything with me. Sometimes I think I caught him with the best idea when he was chairman, and he would let me know it wasn't. But I appreciate that. It made me a better manager and a better person. That's all I have, unless you have things for me.
I have anything for the county manager.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Last item on the public agenda would be the commissioner's report. Would you like to start? Commissioner Smith?
I have nothing.
No report?
No report.
Commissioner Hunt? No report? No report? No report? Wow, this is a record. You gotta have one. Huh?
No.
Okay, I just have one then. We're gonna have one. And that is, it was a sad week when we heard about Tom's death, that it was a sad week this week as we heard about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Let's hope that our country can move forward with speaking without taking action. We value free speech. We value the First Amendment. We are unique and blessed as a country to be able to speak what we believe, but we should do it in a respectful manner, and I'm sure everybody in this room agrees with that and does that. So that would be my only comment. And we need to remember his wife and children in our thoughts and prayers, as it was a horrible, horrible thing. So, County Manager?
I forgot, and I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was going to say one last comment. Tom Mark was the only man I know to go on that boat in Italian loafers. And he did. No snake boots for him, so that was him. Sorry, I left out the most important part. I realized it when I sat down, so. Yeah.
Okay, that will include our public meeting. We're now being asked to go into closed session. The board requested to go into closed session pursuant to NCGS 143-318-11A5, property acquisition. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Also need to add subsection A4 for an economic development matter.
Thank you.
So moved.
We have a
Second.
motion? And a
Motion
second?
and a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we are in closed session. Take about 5 minutes to get there. Thank you, everybody, for your attendance.